Hello, hi, it's Pete Reed, and today what we're going to have a quick look at is Windows 10. So this is my Windows 10 computer. It's an old machine that I've got kicking about. I used to have Windows 7 on, prone to overheating and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So it's not the most fabulous machine on the planet, but it works. Windows 10 seems to work on it quite well indeed. As you can see up here on my desktop, which is not dissimilar to every other desktop you've ever seen in Windows, I've got my recycle bin. I've not got anything else on that screen. I don't particularly like to have a cluttered desktop. Down in the bottom corner here, I've got my date and time, I've got notifications, I've got my speakers, my internet connectivity, my battery, and the other bits and pieces. Here then I've got my taskbar with the various programs that I've got pinned to my taskbar. Here I've got my search options where I could actually ask Cortana or type in a request. Cortana doesn't seem to work very well on my machine. I think it just sulks and doesn't like my accent. And then here I've got the wonderful Microsoft Windows Start button, which has been returned to the fold. So if I click onto it, then up it will come and pop up with my Start menu. Now down the side here I've got the most commonly programs that I've used, and then underneath here I've got recently added. Wonderful, which means of course that when I'm adding new programs I'll be able to find them under the recently added section without having to go searching all over the place for them. Here then I've got my File Explorer, I've got my settings, our power options and all apps. Now if I click onto settings first of all, here we can see a typical window that we would get in terms of Windows 10. So as you can see, the icons have all been very much simplified, so they'll work on all sorts of different sized devices. I've still got my scroll bar down the side, so I can actually scroll down so I can see the various other bits and pieces. I've also got my minimize to the taskbar, my maximize button and my close button. So as you can see, everything is actually clean and simple and available for use. I'm just going to minimize that down to my taskbar. And then I'm going to click back onto my Start button. And here I can see the various apps, and I'm going to click on All Apps. Now, All Apps allows me to search all the apps that's on my computer. And this idea of having apps on my computer rather than programs and all the other bits and pieces, the idea is that I can go to the Microsoft Store and find all my apps. And what it is supposed to do is mean that Microsoft will never need to upgrade again, because everything will be inside of that store. So here, as you can see, I'm moving down and looking at all my various bits and pieces. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the weather app. Here it is. I'm going to right click onto it, and then I've got a couple of options. I can pin it to the start. So I've now pinned it to my start bar. And there it is. It tells me that I'm in Tamworth and it's mostly cloudy. And this is called an active tile. Now, active tiles annoy me. I really don't want things wittering away at me. So I'm going to return here, and I'm going to turn the live tile off. And now it just says weather. And if I want the weather, I can go and click onto the tab, and I can use it. Again, if I right click onto here, I can resize my tile. I can make it small, medium, wide, or large. So let's have a look and see what large looks like. Good heavens, that's large. And again, I can right click onto it and turn it, resize it back to medium. And there it is back into a medium size. Now I can also drag these about to put them into the places that I want them as I'm working on the application, working within Windows. So I can put them into any section that I want in order to be able to create the size of app that the size of window that I would like to see. And indeed I can enlarge that window if I so wish. What I can also do, if I come back over here and right click onto weather, I can pin it to the taskbar. So now I've got my weather app down at the bottom here as well. So as you can see, I can stylize my view into being however I want it to be. What I've also done in my version of Windows 10 is I've also installed other programs. So I installed a couple of browsers. I've installed Google Chrome, I've installed Opera, I've installed Evernote, because these are programs that I use all the time, and I want to make sure that they're going to work fine inside of this environment. And they seem to work fine without any problems at all. Here is something that is exciting. This is Project Spartan. This is the new browser for Windows, and it's got some fantastic bits and pieces in here. So, for example, if I close that BBC News page, let me just close this app completely and then restart it. Then what it does, if it's not set to actually show the last window you were looking at, it will bring up the window for Bing. So it gives you that search engine. I can of course stylize it so that I can actually choose a different search engine if I so desired. But as you can see, it brings up Bing. So I can now search on Bing. So if I search on Bing for Drayton Manor, then here, as you can see, it brings up the information about the Drayton Manor theme park. So I can select that, and it brings up here to see the various bits and pieces. So I can have a quick look at Thomasland. And I can click on some more. And so here I've got Thomasland. And here at the top of my browser window, I've actually got make a web note. So I can click onto this, and I can actually then start to do something such as highlight particular information that I was interested in. So I can highlight that Thomas is bigger and better. Yeah. And then I could actually save that as a web note. Or indeed, I could actually click on the pencil and circle something that I wanted to circle. Now that colour scheme is not particularly, a blue colour scheme against a blue background does not seem to work particularly well. So here I could actually choose a different colour so that I can actually circle something. And again, I could save it. Here I've got the ability to create a note. So then I can just click there and type in, "This looks good." And that's better, yeah, "This looks good." And again, I can actually save that so that I can actually save it down onto my page. I can save it into favourites and add that as my favourites. I can also click onto share, which will allow me to share with other people. Of course, at the moment that's not working. So again, I'm just going to click outside of that and ignore that piece. And then I can just exit from that to take me back to the browser. So as you can see, they put a lot of work into Project Spartan. And again, I think that might be a reason for me to try to give Internet Explorer, or its latest version, another go, because Internet Explorer has historically not been the best browser on the planet. Okay, so there we've got a wonderful look at Windows 10. It allows me to have multiple windows open, as you would expect. It allows me to click things to the side, and here we've got the task view. Now the task view allows me to see any programs that I've got open at any one time. So there's the setting tab that I open. Screencast-O-Matic is what I'm using to create this screencast, and there is my Google Chrome window. And from here I can actually go and I can actually click onto there to open that particular window and bring it to the front. I can take this, drag this off to the side to clip it to the side. So I've got the two panes parallel and next to each other. Or indeed I could click back onto my taskbar and I could click onto the cross to close the applications that I no longer wish to use. So there we go. That's Windows 10 in a nutshell. Now, when you're playing about with your Windows, you may find that at some point you'll get a notification in your Windows 7 or Windows 8 machine that says, "Would you like to reserve your update?" Now, it's a good idea to say yes if you plan on upgrading to Windows 10. Now the reason for doing that is that what happens when you reserve your update is that over the next few weeks it will download bits and pieces of the upgrade, so that when it comes time for you to upgrade, you won't be faced with a massive single download. It will just be able to run with the bits and pieces that it's already downloaded. So hey, welcome to Windows 10. Looks like it's going to be a great product. Talk to you later. Cheers then. Bye.